Gorandura, I say, Ashidu, Ashite, Ashiwan vibrations, every Becca. May your mind, buckets, and souls be all. May your omens be sound. May your buckas be leavened off the ground. When we keep to the breath, the orth, the mothor, the seon, the soul raw of stem guides and keeps you all. I am Atata Elai, say El, say I, Amen Ra, Christ or a chaplain. I am truth awareness, truth talk. Can be a part of the greatest transfer of Ma'el, that's intelligence, Samanology to Ongodu. This is sound logic, and with all that, being a fool is absolutely your choice. Go Andura, I say. Amama Seta. To Ray is Ray 1814. We're advancing. We're advancing. Go to Google, go to Apple, download the Kagadora app, get online with the raw timeline. Go to jesus.com, savbysound.com. You can download the PDF version of that Mythorian Kagadora. We got the 18 by 24 inch poster. Get it. You got an option of different backdrops. You'll even be able to send me your photo that you want in the background. I'll set you up with the file. You can go print it. Or you can order a link from our site, or it will take you to amenraw.com, our Shopify store, where you can tap into some merch and wear what the devils fear. Books and other things for you to support too, because we need to build. We need to build. We need to build. We're at directionary.com. That's right, because words die your erection. You got to stop speaking language. Sound logic ta angodu. We speak motion. That's right. That's what sound is. Sound is motion. We don't manipulate dead things, because that's what symbols are. We give them breath. We give them life. That's why your gods are named Yahweh. Just look at the code. Look at the code. That means you're giving breath. Why are you giving breath to God? I thought God was giving you breath, huh? I thought you were the breath of God. Or I thought God was the breath of you. Oh, boy. You guys. Well, we got another one for you here. We got another one for you here. We got another one for you here. When we were building this website, right? We just put a few things in and we're testing out the functionality. And so, Amen was one of the words that I imported into the database. Let's just go back to the front page here. And so, like I may have said in another video, I've been making so many videos, I don't even know what's going on. But let me just repeat myself if I may. So I realized some ignorance in my knowledge of the functionality of the site. And I realized once I started trying to update Mothor that it wasn't updating. And so I realized that it only takes 6 trending words at a time. And so in order for it to take in a new word, which was Mothor, I had to remove the trending status off of a few. And so I actually just removed those words because they were just dummy, and they were just dummies, right? They didn't have any decoding with them. They were just there to, like I said, see if the functionality worked. So anyways, we sorted that out. And since Amen was a word that was partially decoded, and I decided to just decode it, right? So I went here, where I have all my Ta'angodu, my Bakuman cards, right? These are all the cards that I had previously made from 2 years ago. So like I said, I'm redoing the template. If you see now, instead of having this background, and like you could literally see how I used to have it before. And like I said, that's the new front, that's the new cover that I'm working for the card, the back side, or whatever you'd say. And this was the original style that I was working with. So you could see the evolution, right? But anyways, let's get back to Amen. Amoan. Where are we? Is this it? Yeah, here we go. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's see what the card says. Okay, remember, these are collectors. We're going to have NFTs, and most importantly, we're going to actually have printed cards. I still got to do the research and find out, how much cards I need for a sheet, and then, what the quantity is, and then we'll have a price, and then, we'll go from there. But okay, this is just going to be another layer, another tier of sound logic that you'll be able to interact with. All right. So, amen. Breath to the scythe. Okay. So you see a cyborg. Make that very clear. You see a cyborg version of Amun, and he's holding a nice scythe, and he's behind the moon. Okay. So we got to recognize that the sun is not Ra. The sun is say undo. Okay, so that means to remove what Ra does. Okay, and the moon is the artificial Ra, the artificial source. Okay, it's their sun. Okay, we got to get this. If you look on all the Arabian flags and stuff like that, they always have the moon crescent, but really that represents the scythe. Okay, it doesn't represent the moon. It represents this. Okay, that's what it represents. Okay, and their star represents say, ta, ar. So that means to say and think against Ra. Okay, that's what star is. S is for say, T is for ta, that's for think. Okay, and then you have A against R, Ra, star. Okay, I did this video a long time ago. Okay, when you think they created your straw man, no. They didn't create a straw man. That's what you think, because straw is really what it is. Because now you're saying say ta ra. Okay, you got to recognize that a straw, what do you use a straw for? It's a tether between your drink and you. That's right. So your star, which is Ra, if you're tethered to that, you get information from that. You get intelligence from Ra. Okay? Say ta Ra. Okay? So I got you. All you mother effers out there. All right? Taking people's money, getting them to sign up for this. Oh, you got to put your this in a trust fund. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do that. You got to do that. I'm telling you. Okay? Keep blocking me. Keep trying to starve me out. Okay? You guys better start sending money my way. Okay? Start buying my shit. And you need to release the blocks that you have on the souls. Okay? Because you guys, I don't give a shit. Okay? You know exactly what you're doing. Okay? You know exactly what you're doing to these people. Ignorance is no mistake. You guys are all spirited, thinking you're the Messiah. You're this, you're that, you're connected, you're tethered, you're all sorts of shit. All sorts of shit. And you got the real person, the real baka here right now speaking to you. Getting starved out. Getting starved out. Blocked. Everything. Voodoo. Everything. All launching. And all I'm doing is growing. Eating up all that negative energy and blowing up. Okay? Let's continue to blow up your thought process here. Okay? So amen. Breath to the scythe. How do we get that? That's the definition. Amen is a code that dedicates your spirit to what removes erected life. The pronunciation, ah, as in breath. Moon, ah, moon. Okay? Ah, moen. Ah, moen. Give breath to what mows down what is erected by Ra. Okay? We got to recognize, even they'll tell you, going back into the Egyptian times, and I keep telling you, Egyptians are the original gypsies. That's why they refer everything to the Egyptians, because it means those who took from the ethers, those who gypped the ether. Okay? You understand that? That's what the code for Egyptian means. All right? You can go back to my book, The Fall of Hugh. You can go back to a lot of my videos. All right? Everything's documented. Everything's there. All right? Okay. So the Aminalgo. Okay. The A for amen means artificial. Okay. The AM equals artificial mothor. Okay, Mothra is the process. We just did that video of the card. Okay, it's the process for producing life. Okay, sound, vibration, matter. Very simple equation. Okay, very, very, very simple. Sure, there's many things in between, but that's just the basic shit. You got thought, which is the sound, okay, which causes the movement, which causes the electricity, energy, okay, that you translate into as heat, okay, but it's not heat, okay, because again, we're giving credit to the what is casting out, okay, we can't do that, okay, so the opposite of he is ah, so we got ah, ta, so instead of heat is ata, okay, not heat, okay, we're turning things inside out and we're standing things upright. Okay, that's what we're doing here with Ta'angodu. Okay, so Ta'angodu replacement for Amen, okay, is Ama'en Ra. Okay, that means give breath to what gives breath to Ra. Okay, it's obviously the opposite of take away what gives breath or take away what is erected by Ra. Okay, it's just the opposite. And then Amen Ra is the origin of motion entity. Ra. Okay, we got to recognize that Ra is replaces the English word for broadcast. It is the voice. Okay, it is the maestro. Okay, literally, it is in what you want to call the center. Okay, the say enter Ra. That means centered by Ra. Okay, all right. So there we have it. Let's just go back to the page now and see what we got. Looking good. All right, it's the fourth card in there. Like I said, it's a long process. It's not easy, okay, because I got to decode. So in a lot of cases, I got to do some research, right? I got to just it's a process. Okay, it's not something I can just do in an hour or so. All right, I gotta make these things. I gotta think of, do the art directing. Okay, so what's the concept that I want? Fortunately, I can work with AI, and whip up some images and shit. But I still gotta figure out what I want. Okay, I still have to have the mind to be able to illustrate what I think. Okay, and I'm thinking. All right, and this is the best depiction of Amen. So, like I said, these are going to be cards. Okay, you'll be able to open up a wrapper, nice shiny wrapper, just like for instance, you buy weed or something like that, right? So you're going to be able to, or whatever, say Pokemon cards, any type of cards. Okay, these are going to be the same shit, except for we're going to be moving intelligence. All right, so let's support. Let's start rallying around. Get to SAV by sound to get to erectionary to get yourself erected. All right, and don't forget, we still got to work on Stemradian. That's Steridian.org or Steridian.com. Okay, I've had this domain for over a decade and a half because I've always known religion is going down and we got to erect our own business for souls. This is just a reality. There's nobody on this planet that's going to set anything up for the souls. Okay, all the back rallies and routes that you see right now, about this is still the same draconians. Same draconians. They know they're not going to be able to get everybody. Okay, but they want to still control both sides. Okay, all right. So we need to organize for the souls. Everything for ourselves. If we cannot do this, then we cannot. And that's just it. The bottom line is we need to demonstrate to ourselves, to the ethers, to our, or everything around us, that we can say for ourselves. Okay? And that takes each and every one of us as individuals doing our work. Okay? Doing our work. Let's go, people. SAVbysound.com, Jesus. Go to Amen Ra, buy something. All right? Go get listen, you can get for $23, you can get a membership for a freaking year. Okay? You very damn well know this is all my shit, original shit. Everybody else is charging thousands, hundreds of dollars for shit that they're rehashing. And that's the facts, people, for shit that they're rehashing. This is innovation. This is innovation in the darkest of times of humanity. Look what I've been able to be doing for 2 decades. Okay? Very focused since the last 5 years. Okay? Just think about all the shit that I'm being able to do in the darkest of times with the least amount of support. Okay? Going against everything. Everything I'm going against. And you don't want to stand with me? Then who are you going to stand with? Let's go, people.